Hello everybody, this is Amy from Chateau de Rosieres, otherwise known as the Plague House, because I'm not very well and I suspect everyone else is going to be following me pretty soon. So I left you last week with me working very hard on the rabbit hutches before it was going to get very cold. And I worked well past dark into the freezing cold, and I don't think that has anything to do with why I'm ill this week, no. So Marc and my dad staged an intervention and said there was no way I was going to be spending every day until after dark in the freezing cold building rabbit hutches right now. And they took the rabbits to a neighbouring farm, and they are in a barn in old pig pens with loads of room to run around, loads of straw, loads of warmth and food, and they're going to stay there temporarily until I'm better and I have time to finish my rabbit hutches. I'm not saying they don't have confidence in me, but maybe they have a realistic expectation of how long it's going to take me. So, sun has just come out as I'm showing you this corner of the chateau, because today I'm going to take you on an epic journey of one of the rooms that we have worked most on since we arrived here, and one of the rooms which I think is in the best shape now. We are currently talking with a firm of architects to help us to refine our ideas for some of the chateau, because as you can see, this is just an epic medieval building. It's not that pretty, frankly, in a lot of places. You see all these ramshackle stones, and any time over the last 600 years that somebody had a different design idea, they just went, oh yeah, I'm just going to hack through a wall here, like these windows. Oh, I want some big Gothic windows. Let's just smash through the wall. We don't care what it looks like from the outside. And so it's fascinating historically, archaeologically, and there are all these different time periods and different rooms. And this corner here is what was the dining room when we first moved in. And it's what we call the modern part of the house, because it was done up to be all fancy in the 19th century, around the 1870s, when there was a man called Octave de la Valette, part of the de la Valette family, who lived here for hundreds of years. And he was a visionary, and he believed in modernising everything. So he put in loads of big windows into what would have been a very, very dark and damp old medieval fortress. Why was it a medieval fortress? Well, you can see from its location that it was designed to be able to see all the valleys around. This part of France, in Ardèche, was the centre of some of the worst violence in the wars of religion. So there were valleys that were Protestant, valleys that were Catholic, and they're always fighting. So around here you find a lot of fortified buildings. It also is quite a long way from Paris and any fashionable cities and centres of money. So that means that after the wars of religion, when things became a lot more stable in France, these buildings were still owned by essentially gentlemen farmers. They were the seigneurs of the area, but they weren't vastly rich. So they weren't just knocking down the medieval castles and building up pretty 19th century ones, which is what you see a huge amount within a few hours of Paris. Personally, I love that because I really love these metre-thick walls. I think it's built to last, and it's, for me personally, very beautiful. But in the 19th century, Octave still wanted to have a bit of his own way, and so he put in a whole load of beautiful big windows and a weird Gothic arch inside. And he lowered the floor, so he dug down into the bedrock. And this is fascinating because you can see the bedrock flowing through the room. Now, if you want a full tour of this room, we did it during our Advent tour of the chateau, which was about 3 years ago, I think, 2 or 3 years ago, where every day of December, we showed you another room of the chateau. And if you didn't watch that, it's still there. It's under a playlist on our channel's homepage, Advent Tour, I think. I can link to it in the description and here. But as a brief overview, there were all these changes done to it, and it's actually a really lovely room of the chateau. But when we arrived, the fireplace was something of an eyesore, in our opinion. And the first thing we filmed with the TV show Chateau DIY was breaking through this fireplace to see what was behind it. And it was really interesting because there was a plasterboard front with a modern insert. It wasn't working very well, and it worked a lot less well once we realised there was a kestrel stuck in the chimney and we had to dismantle part of it to get it out alive. It definitely didn't work well after that, but we didn't love it anyway. It didn't feel in keeping with the room. So we said to the TV crew, yeah, let's break through this, it'll be nice and easy. When we broke through it, it was bizarre because there was another false wall, and on it they'd painted it to look like stone, but it wasn't stone. And the TV crew that were there, and Marc was like, oh, should we just see what's behind it? We're going, oh, we really shouldn't, because it'll just be more mess, and what if it's horrible, and then we'll have to replaster it, because it had all these sort of nasty stains all over it. We went, all right, let's do it. We started breaking on it, and we revealed the old medieval kitchen of the chateau. And not only did we break back beyond that second layer of fake fireplace, but we broke into the top to reveal this huge arched ceiling. It's essentially like a little room in the fireplace, which was very, very good fun. And we sandblasted it, all the stones to make them beautiful. And we had our stonemason Hervé to redo some stones for the fireplace, the little bit of fireplace, because obviously in the 1870s they had lowered the floor, which had left just a raw rock at the bottom, so it looked a bit odd. So he carved some new stones to go in line with it. And also there was part of the old bread oven that had also been shut off a little bit, and so we reopened that, and it's not usable, and it's up high because they'd lowered the floor and all strange things, but we put pots and lights in there. So it became really one of our favourite bits of renovation that we'd done, and people still talk about it when they remember us being on the TV show. But we reached a point, I think it was about more than a year ago, and we had just been letting the chateau be used to film a short movie by a young man in our village who's a film director. It was great fun, and he used this room as one of the key locations, so they emptied all the furniture out of it. Used to have this gigantic table that took up half the room, and we never used. We don't have dinner parties. So when I think I was away in the UK with the kids, because they were very small at the time, and I thought I'd get them out of the way of the filming. And when I came back, it turned out that Marc and Dave, who is a New Zealand volunteer who was staying with us at the time, had decided to redo the floor in the dining room because it was empty of furniture. And today I'm going to show you what they got up to and how we redid the floor. And then next week, I'm going to show you how we redid the whole room with beautiful furniture, and how it's now basically the first room of the chateau to be finished. So whilst I was in the UK with the kids, keeping them away from the filming, Dave and Marc held the fort here, literally held the fort. And then, because they're always full of really good ideas, when the film crew left, they realised that the dining room was empty. It had been completely emptied of furniture for the film, and so they said to the film crew, leave it clear and we'll tackle the floor, which is something we've wanted to do for ages. It was in a bit of a mess, wasn't it? It was sort of stained, especially because Marc kept all his plants in here, there was water stains and there was an old varnish on it and things. And it's a pity because it's a beautiful floor, isn't it?
It is, yeah, it's great wood.
Yeah. And so Dave has dedicated himself for quite a long time now to sanding the floor. hardest bits in here?
Well, there was some water damage marks, and they'd been there significant time. So here's one here, which is still just evident.
Yeah, I can just see it, yeah.
So we used a bit of acid too to help try and bring that colour out of it.
Yeah.
So it blended with the rest of it.
Yeah.
So I did that one, and there was two more over here.
Which you really can't see, can you anymore?
See.
No.
Now we had some scratches, and I used your steam iron.
Oh, really?
And steamed it just a little bit, and that brought the dent out of the wood.
Wow.
And then I could sand it, and now you can't see the scratch.
That's amazing. I did not know that technique.
It's probably more used in furniture and things than on floors.
Yeah.
We thought we'd give it a try.
That's amazing. Because, I mean, you can't be too perfectionist about it, can you? Otherwise, you end up wearing away too much of the floor, wouldn't you?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah, because we wanted it to still have some, character to it. Yeah. But of course, I'm not trained in any of this either. I happened to be here at the wrong time. So but it was great that I could help you guys again. And
I'm so pleased. It looks amazing.
Look wonderful, yeah.
But what I want to show you today is the next important stage, which is doing the oiling. And it's going to be fabulous.
Yep, I think so. Yeah.
And the oiling will protect it, won't it?
It'll protect it. It'll bring the wood back to its natural moisture levels too. So
it'll expand them a bit.
Some of the gaps will shrink.
Oh, nice.
Which is good. So less dust down the cracks.
And also less creaking and damage and stuff, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's so exciting to see this room because it's really probably, I think it's the most beautiful room in the house, isn't it? Because of the windows and everything. And we're actually, I don't know if this is a spoiler alert, but we're going to make this a living room that's closer to the kitchen. Mark, would you like to tell us a bit about the oil we're going to use?
It's the first time I'm using that kind of oil. It's actually an oil my brother recommended because it makes the floor completely waterproof, and it's actually meant to be put in bathrooms. So given that you have a lot of plants here, I thought it would be good to have something really waterproof for when you overwater, which happens quite a lot.
And it's because it's oil with a bit of resin in, isn't it?
Yeah, so basically the resin blocks the pores of the wood, which makes it waterproof, and it protects the wood in quite deeply. So it's true, it looks like it's a weird color, but I suspect, I think we need to try.
And just maybe a quick word on why you would still prefer this to varnish.
I hate varnish. Well, this nurtures the wood, so it soaks in depth, and it means that if there's ever a stain, we just have to sand a little bit on the surface and add more oil, and it just goes. Whereas varnish is quite effective to protect, but it creates a film on top of the wood, and it's very sensitive to scratches, and also after a while it just
it looks scuffed and horrible, doesn't it?
Flakes and and it looks like it was looking before. Varnish was quite fashionable in the 70s because it made a beautiful bright shiny look on it, but it doesn't feed the wood, so it's the wood completely dries in the in-depth, and it also creates cracks, and it
makes them shrink.
It makes it shrink, and then it becomes noisy, etc., etc.
And now you're going to delegate, aren't you?
Yeah, I love delegating. And Dave's been doing an amazing job.
He has. We're going to rename this room the Sir Dave Irving room.
It's actually the fun part, but
Dave deserves the fun.
But given that Dave did all the boring job before, I'm not gonna
take it away from him.
The fun from him. Because it's really it's actually the most satisfying bit.
Well,
I'm happy to do it if you
don't want to. Yeah.
You can do the first stroke. How's that?
Oh, thank you.
Da, 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 da. As you like.
That's beautiful.
What kind of wood is this?
It looks like oak to me.
Yeah, it's got that slightly greyish tinge, isn't it? Are you enjoying yourself?
Dave, would you like to carry on before I get carried away?
Yeah, it's interesting how
Oh yeah.
much it's sucking it up. That's good.
And so it doesn't look wet eventually, which is a good thing.
Yes.
I want it to soak as much as possible so that you can overwater your plants.
Did you take your stitches out of your nose yourself?
Yes, I did.
Mark had an accident with an acacia thorn into his nose. Thank you for sticking with us this long, because I know that was a bit of a jumble of footage, not the best filmed. I wasn't here for a lot of it. Also, I'm sure there is some more footage somewhere, but I can't find it. I've changed computers since then, but I really wanted to show you how much effort went into that floor. It was an incredible effort by Dave. And next week, it's filmed by Adonis, but it was filmed back 2 years ago, but it's a complete makeover of that room, and it becomes absolutely my favourite room of the chateau. It was absolutely stunning. I'm really proud to show it to you. I mean, right now, Christmas, we put the Christmas tree up yesterday. It also then fell over, which is why it looks really rubbish right now. I also just wanted to, sorry for the wobbly camera, it's a bit of a selfie job this. I wanted to just tell you that Dave, who stayed with us, he is also a fantastic artist who paints cars especially. And so if you're somebody, or you're looking for a gift for somebody who loves classic cars, you should check out his website, which I've linked to below and up here. So, look forward to seeing you next Saturday when we'll be showing you exactly what happened with our dining room transformation. Have a lovely week, everyone. Bye.